A very good morning and welcome back to another daily market update where we dive into EURUSD, the major dollar pairs, and of course gold. Now EURUSD on Friday pushed in towards the upside after NFP data and the revised data of the past 2 months of May and June came in worse than expected. Now this overall has pushed the dollar down lower and EURUSD up higher, which is still pretty much in line with the overall swing structure, right? Because if we look here at EURUSD, we can obviously see here that this is the overall big swing up. This here was the swing break of structure. Therefore, this here is the swing low. This here is the swing high. The market then retraces down in towards discount prices. If we were to draw in a normal Fibonacci retracement tool, you can then pretty much clearly see that it retraced to around the 0.5 fib. Just missed out on the 618. But still, beautiful price action from a swing structure perspective. Now, what is next for this week? Because is EURUSD going to head down lower or is it going to head up higher? Now, for now, this here is my main concern for EURUSD for any further upside. This area of daily supply for me at the moment is currently in control. I still see there being potential for EURUSD to head down lower from this area of supply, as the overall reversal that took place over here did not happen from any area of interest for myself. There was no clear area of demand, and furthermore, there was also no liquidity taken to really reverse price that hard in towards the upside. For me, this is purely just a news-driven move, and therefore it makes more sense to head down back in towards the downside, towards that overall NFP low. So that is currently what I'm also going to be monitoring potentially for those shorts to take place. At the moment, the 4-hour fractal does remain bullish, so I do have my eyes open for, again, the overall bullish structure. At this point in time, I'm monitoring as well this high over here. What I preferably want to see this morning is maybe that high get taken out. This here becomes the 4-hour fractal low. We break the 4-hour fractal low retracement, and then I look for a potential shorting opportunity. Now, that for myself would be the ideal short trade to take. Is it going to happen? Not sure. But if it does happen, then that is the overall trade that I'll be looking at. And then once we take some more significant liquidity, I'll only then be looking for longs. Because look, at the moment, the overall reversal, yes, okay, it might have taken place from an area of demand, let's say over here, but let me get the box from this demand zone over here, but this demand zone was not fresh. Also, it pierced through. So therefore, I would preferably really want to see these lows get taken out before seeing any further upside. Okay, so that's currently what I have because the reversal doesn't take place out of nowhere. In my opinion, it will always take place from liquidity and or an area of demand. So keeping an eye on that. Also, from a weekly structural perspective, here we have gotten this weekly area of demand that is currently in control after the weekly fractal break. So this could also cause EURUSD to head down lower as well. So I'll be monitoring those shorts. However, obviously we need confirmation for those shorts to take place. And if the 4-hour momentum just stays up and it keeps pushing up higher, then obviously we'll monitor those long positions. But for now, I am more interested in those shorting opportunities. Going into the dollar index again obviously sold off in towards the downside, which was pretty much in the line of expectations, as this area of daily demand, that is what we wanted to see get hit. For now, we still have not yet taken out this liquidity high here or this liquidity high here after the overall squeezing formation in towards the downside. So I'm looking for that overall upside continuation this week, similar to what I'm looking for in EURUSD. I'll be monitoring for bullish confirmation. At the moment, all you pretty much need to know from, let's say, this piece of price action here, swing low, swing high. Here we have some liquidity still resting. So the ideal situation for us would be if we were to take out this low over here and then get, for example, the 4-hour change of character, and then we look for those longs back in towards the high. So that for me, again, is the ideal situation on the dollar index. But if it does already take out this current fractal high, then I'll also be happy to look for those potential longs. Going into AUDUSD, we can see that AU has also retraced up higher. Overall, looking for shorts within this area of daily supply. Daily fractal at the moment remains fractal bearish. The weekly fractal is also bearish, very similar to EURUSD, with kind of like this buy before the sell candle over here for now being in control. So I'll be monitoring that weekly bearish fractal and then also this daily bearish fractal with this buy before the sell down being currently in control. So I'll be looking for sells within that area of supply. Preferably, we would take out these descending highs here and then look for a shorting opportunity. Going into GBPUSD, GU itself also pushed up higher from the lows, which we were anticipating, which is beautiful to see. overall, we saw an initial bearish reaction on Friday, which happened to an old area of supply. Now, for myself, again, the ideal situation would definitely be for us to push up a little bit higher, at least back up in towards the overall buy before the sell, actually preferably pretty much into this refined buy before the sell here, and then look for a further shorting opportunity back in towards the downside. That would be ideal for me. We have beautiful equal lows down over here because we just missed out on the overall blue dotted line, which is the low of this bearish candle. So there is liquidity still resting there, which I would love to see get taken out. Therefore, still favoring some shorts on GU. But the setup does need to present itself, and that would mean that we would need to see another drive up. 4-hour fractal low comes here, 4-hour fractal low breaks, and then we look for the shorting opportunity. So yeah, that's kind of what I have. And then also from a Fibonacci perspective, let's say we draw in the Fibonacci and we look at the premium versus discount tool. You can see that the 0.5 fib is also just slightly away of us. So I would preferably also want to see that get taken out. So yeah, that's pretty much what I'm waiting for. On the 1 hour, you also left some equal highs behind over here. So I'm kind of looking for those highs to get swept, and then I'll look for a short on GBPUSD. If it already sells off, perfectly fine, but I'll just be waiting for the confirmation of that liquidity, very similar to EURUSD. Going into NZDUSD, we can see that NU is currently consolidating here on the 1 hour. Overall, we just missed out again as well on the overall swing low. I view NZDUSD currently as a range situation where the market is moving sideways. We took out the range high and now we're aiming for the range low. So I'm still looking for that further downside push. From a weekly perspective, you can kind of see this as, let's say, this here where we have now retraced and have stalled at the 0.5 fib approximately. So I'll be looking for that now to take place from a range trading perspective. And yeah, let's see if we can get into this low. That for me now holds the main focus. Going into USDCHF, we can see that USDCHF retraced into this daily area of demand. That daily area of demand could potentially push the market up higher. Sadly, we didn't see a weekly fractal structural shift last week because now this weekly supply zone kind of like pushed the market down lower again. However, I am very much looking for bottom forming here on USD Swiss to look for some longs again in towards the highs. For now, this daily demand zone is in control, so I wouldn't want to be shorting here, and we still have a lot of descending highs open as well. So I'm favoring some further upside on this. USDJPY, we can see that it found some support. The overall fractal remains bullish here on the daily time frame, and the overall liquidity high has not been touched yet. So a lot of these dollar pairs still have a lot of liquidity to take, so I'm favoring another push up. You can see that we took out some lows here, which is always nice to do. So now I would prefer maybe one more sell-off and then look for the overall buy up again. However, it doesn't always happen on UJ that takes place. So keep maybe an eye on the 1 hour time frame and then look for the current fractal high to break, and then maybe some momentum to kick in, and you just trade the overall 1 hour and instead of waiting for the 4 hour fractal to break. And then of course we have gold, guys. So gold flew into the absolute moon after this initial short idea on the lower time frame played out. So there was a short to be taken here on the 15-minute time frame, which was a very fairly simple short opportunity where we had a break of structure. We took out the descending highs, and then here we got the market structure shift in towards the downside. That played out beautifully, that short position. So then what happened next is that the daily fractal shifted here, and now this sell for the buy is in control. So again, now we just look for the longs again, as long as the daily fractal remains bullish. So wait for it to hit that daily demand zone, and then the longs should play out. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Wish you all a fantastic trading day, and speak soon.